Hello everyone, my name is Russell McNeely. Today, me and two of my teammates, Crystal and Amanda, will present to you the Markstrat presentation for T-Elite. During this presentation, we will discuss what products T-Elite sold, which markets were targeted, how the products were promoted, how well T-Elite performed as a company in the sonite industry over a 6-year period, and what lessons were learned as a result of the Markstrat simulation. T-Elite was in the sonite industry. We operated for 6 periods, manufactured 5 different brands of sonites, and targeted 4 segments of the market. The tops brand was targeted to the professionals. Tones was targeted to the high earner sector of the market. Two Less was targeting the savers. 2 Moss targeted the shoppers, and Tops 2, which was a rebrand of Tops, was targeting the professionals. T-Elite failed to maintain its overall position in the sonite market, and for that reason, we placed 5th out of 6 teams. Revenue decreased each period, starting from period 2 through period 4 before rebounding in period 5. Our stock price started off at $1,200, and in period 6, our stock price was at $683. However, in period 4 was a low point for us. The stock price was at $613, and that price had decreased 31% in period 4. It decreased 31% from period 3. Period 6 or period 5, we had an increase in the stock price. It increased 1% from period 4, and in period 6, the stock price increased 10% over period 5. The performance of our different brands, as far as that goes, Tone started out strong. It was our highest seller. It had its highest sales in period 1. However, it continually lost sales in each period, and we had to discontinue it in period 4. Tops had a 3% market share at one time. We had to rebrand it in period 4, and it had its biggest sales in period 6. Two Less, which was produced to target the savers market, had a 3% market share. It was the first addition to our portfolio, and it kept T-Elite alive during periods 3, 4, and 5. 2 Moss was produced to target the shopper segment, had a 1% market share, wasn't very lucrative, and each period sales decreased. Revenue for T-Elite, in period 0, we made $47 million and increased the revenue by 14% in period 1, making $54 million. And earnings before taxes were $13.4 million. Period 2, however, we had a decrease in revenue. We went from $54 million to $50 million, which was a 7.5% decrease in revenue, causing us to have or not really affecting our earnings before tax, because that was actually a 16% increase from period 0, or from period 1, I'm sorry. In period 3, revenues again declined. We dropped down to $34 million, a 32% decline. And That caused earnings before taxes to be, to have a negative 42% decline from period 2. Period 4, we continued to slide with the revenue. We made we made $11.6 million less in period 4 than we did in period 3. That was a 33% decline. And our earnings before taxes were $9 million less in period 4 than what they were in period 3, a 102% decline. Period 5, we made money. We had an increase in revenue. Revenue increased 22%, and earnings before tax increased 637%. We made $1.5 million more in period 5 than we did in period 4. Period 6, revenue increased 16%. We made $32 million, and our earnings before taxes was 318% more than the previous period.